What is going on, everybody? It is your friend Jay Victor with another episode of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast being recorded today, January 31st. And it's another month end, but more importantly, it is almost time to pay the piper. So today is the deadline for submitting of those precious 1099Rs that we all dread for any prizes that we've won from the previous year that are over $600. I'm expecting two of them myself, one for a Gatorade win that unfortunately was about $10 over the threshold thanks to a $20 water bottle that was thrown in there, as well as a 1099R for my gas cards that were won last year. But it is what it is. It's a part of the game. So I'm basically waiting on those to file my taxes and get everything done on TurboTax. But it could be worse. You could not be winning stuff that requires a 1099. And the good news is for my new personal record best win through Lunchables for the PC gaming setup, that was after January 1st. So that will be a 2026 problem for me. Yours truly. Phone lines are open. Sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com with any questions. How do you handle your tax time in the period of time where you have to do taxes? So, little tip for those of you that don't know, especially if you prepare your own taxes through a software like TurboTax, there will be a portion to where you can put a actual or current market value on the prize that you won. So if you disagree, for instance, with the value that they put on the 1099, and obviously you want to be able, in case of an audit, to furnish proof of said value, you could always make those edits when you're doing your taxes to do a fair market value assessment. This might come into play next year for me, because as much as I like the gaming setup, I think they were a little bit too tall on the price of the PC, especially when I received the PC and tried to build one similar to it. The dollar amounts weren't adding up. But again, problem for me for next year, you don't want to win something that's $4,000 and then claim that it was $200. But obviously, and I'm not a tax advisor, so don't, take any of my advice as gospel. But obviously you want to not only do a fair market assessment of any prizes that you won, you want to be able to furnish proof if someone comes knocking at your door and saying, hey, how'd you come up with these numbers? But good luck to everybody who won big or small last year, and have fun paying your taxes, as we all should as law-abiding citizens. If there's any tips or tricks or anything that some of you that are much more seasoned than me, maybe 20, 30, 40 years in the sweeping game, do you have any tips? Feel free to send them in, and I'll read that off on the next episode of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast. I don't know. It's been kind of a slow Q1 as far as the sweepstakes goes. I've deleted 7 of them this morning, after I was done. So there were about 7 daily sweepstakes that I deleted, getting ready for February. But I will also make mention, because I see these conversations happen on different Facebook groups, different forums. A lot of people feel the same as me. And, they say, oh, there's not a lot of sweeps going on. Yes, that is correct. If you are using the, let's say, not for pay avenues, if you're just using some regular sweepstake sites out there. However, the ones that that you pay for or subscribe to Most specifically, and I've heard this from a lot of people, if you use iWin contests, there is certainly no shortage of sweepstakes when it comes to subscribing. Now, although I'm not a subscriber, I've been told there's a lot more to choose from. However, be it major or local or what have you, I'm still trying to keep up with not entering every single little sweep that I come across, and obviously having it be worth my while. Although there will be folks out there, if there's a salt and pepper shaker set up for grabs, there are people that are going to be entering that. And especially if you need a new salt and pepper shaker set, I say absolutely go for it. But I'm trying to trim down the amount of sweeps that I'm doing, and honestly, it's been pretty cathartic and opening up a lot more time during the day, wherein I would usually do about an hour 15 worth of sweepstakes every day. I've cut that down to about 25 minutes, which honestly is really nice as far as having the time to be able to do that. So who knows? Here's hoping that maybe a few more come out and that we have some major prizes. I would really love to win a trip to the Super Bowl either this year or next year, because I've seen, speaking of iWin contests, there is a page on their site that shows the owner and his wins, and it looks like he went to almost 2 Super Bowls in a row. I think it was separated by a year, but he had the pleasure of watching the Patriots win both those years, which would have been pretty awesome to see, even though I'm not, I'm in New England, but I'm not a Patriots fan. Go Raiders. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next year with the hiring of Coach Pete Carroll, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. Hopefully we can dig out of this terrible slump that the Raiders have been in, but who knows? We'll see what happens. So beyond our taxes, it's time for a brand new top 5, courtesy of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast. And coming in at number 5, one that I enter whenever they have a giveaway, because I love the brand as well, especially having been in the car business. The Castrol Gearhead giveaway, they are giving one grand prize winner a 159-piece tool set, along with a carry box, some Castrol swag, as well as 10 quarts of motor oil. My truck takes 5.5, so by my math, if I buy one more, I'll be good for 2 oil changes. Like my Gatorade prize, it is over $600. They got an estimated retail value here of $964, but it is a one and done. It's open to all of our friends in the contiguous United States, as well as DC, who are ages 21 and older. This contest is going to run from December 20th through February 28th. And once again, it's a one and done. Good luck in entering that. Coming in at number 4 on this week's top 5, we have the XP Big Game Score Contest 2025. Now, you're basically going to predict the score of the Super Bowl. It is a one and done. The contest is going to be open from January 27th through February 9th, and it is open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, including DC and Canada, excluding Quebec. Sorry to my friends in Quebec. Ages 21 and older, but here's the kicker. Like a lot of our other football sweepstakes, something has to happen, and that something is you guessing the exact correct score for your entry to count. And being that it's a Super Bowl, your guess is really as good as anybody else's guess on what the score is. 55 grand in cash is great. One and done is great. Short entry period is great. But you only have a chance if you guess the exact score. And who knows what that's going to be. But good luck to everybody who enters that one. Number 3 on this week's top 5 is a personal favorite of mine. It's going to be the Verizon Four Nations Face-Off Sweepstakes, and this is a hockey sweep. They're going to have 4 grand prize winners in this contest. Retail value of each prize, $2,660. This is going to run from January 24th through February 5th, so get your entries in right away. It is a one and done, and it's open to legal residents. All of our friends in the 50 United States, including D.C., ages 18 and older that have reached the age of majority. You're basically looking at a trip for two to Boston to watch Team USA versus Sweden in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship hockey game. Basically get airfare, 2-night hotel stay, and event tickets. Myself, I would see if they could skip on the airfare because Boston's going to be a 2-hour drive for me, so I'd rather not fly to be able to take part in that. But hopefully I win that, because nothing better than a hockey game, whether it be NHL or happens to be country versus country. So go Team USA. That is a great sweep. So congratulations to anybody who's listening that wins that one. I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time. Coming in at number 2, the 2nd Street $5,000 U.S. and Canada sweepstakes. Guess what? It's another one and done. It runs from January 27th through February 25th, so a little bit less than a month. And it's pretty simple. One grand prize winner, a check for $5,000 USD. Single entry, one and done, open to all of our friends of the 50 United States, including DC and Canada. Again, sorry to my friends in Quebec, ages 18 and older. Straight cash, homie, as Randy Moss would say. If you're not sure who that is, you got to look it up. And coming in at number 1, and I see quotes from our good friend Captain Billy J. Travels on this one, the Bush Light Mountains of Bush giveaway. So here's the thing. 3 grand prize winners in this contest. You're going to get $10,000 cash in the form of an ACH, a Zelle, PayPal, or a check payment. 3 grand prize winners, 10 grand each, 30,000 total. Open to all of our friends in the 50 United States and DC who are ages 21 and older. It's going to run from January 2nd to February 28th. And I will post the link that we have here. Now, I came upon this link and did not click on it because I was under the impression that it was going to be the Mountains of Bush Twitter, Instagram thing, but this looks like just a form to fill out. So I'm sure it may be related to the other one, because you have the one that is on social media that you have to put the hashtag mountain of Bush and hashtag sweepstakes, but this one looks to be just a form that you fill out, and it's literally a one and done. So same company, same kind of tagline, but slightly different sweep for those of you that are interested. And once again, I will be linking everything on the podcast side of things in the notes. Now, today's episode is going to be kind of short, and apologies for making it so late in the week. However, my dear mother is up from South Carolina, and she comes up couple times a year, and I spend a week with her. She spends a week with myself, my wife, and my son, so it's a good time had by all. So fortunately or unfortunately, I'll be cutting this episode short at about the 15-minute mark, but I just want to say hi, give some tips on taxes, and maybe get your input at sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. So I hope you have some good tips that I could share with everybody next week. Good luck with everybody paying their taxes, and good luck to everybody entering these sweepstakes. Hopefully we get some more, and I promise I'll come up with a longer episode earlier in the week next week. And I'm still trying to work on maybe a special guest, or maybe having some kind of dialogue with another person, but I will be eventually limited by technical issues. So I appreciate you for tuning in. This has been another episode of Official Rules, a Sweepstakes podcast. I am your host, Jay Victor. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a father and son production.